Hi students, welcome to SPR IAS EduTech. Today you're gonna discuss about the important article that has been provided in a Hindu newspaper post 1957. President retains the power to scrap Article 370. So this article stands to be very important because in recent times it has been continuously present in the news. So here through this video you'll have a much more clarity. If you want the content like this, and also you keep following this channel, and also if you want the PDF of the content that I'm teaching here, that will make your preparation much more beautiful. So the PDF is provided for free, so kindly follow our Telegram channel which is provided in the description, so you'll get the PDF of the content very free, and also share this content with your friends so they also get benefited. Now let me take you to the content. So here Article 370 is continuously in the news. You need to have a clear-cut clarity about the subject, and also it is important for you GS paper 2 and polity and governance. So it's very critical. So here let me teach you it in a clear format. So first, Article 370, how it had evolved. So first of all, you need to understand how this Article 370 came into existence. So when you come to the existence of this Article 370, initially you need to know October 26, 1947. What had happened over there? So October 26, 1947, actually after August 15, India and Pakistan has been divided, and Jammu Kashmir was independent, which means the British government told that so-called princely state can decide their own, which means they can stay independent or join any of the union, Pakistan or India. At that moment, the Jammu and Kashmir was ruled by so-called a Raja called Maharaja Hari Singh. So but he was invaded by the tribes of Pakistan. When the Pak tribes tried to invade him, and also the line of control which is there, so it is also taken by them. So when they come and attacked Jammu and Kashmir, he came to India, he approached India and signed the instrument of accession. So instrument of accession was signed between the Mountbatten and also the so-called our Hari Singh, Maharaja Hari Singh. So that is called as an instrument of accession. So you need to remember what is this instrument of accession. After signing this instrument of accession, now he approached India, he had certain deals. Part of the deal, on May 27, 1949, the Constituent Assembly, which is framing the constitution for whole India, they had discussed and created a separate framework or draft for the so-called Jammu and Kashmir, that is Article 370. It means whole India will have a constitution, and individually Pakistan, Jammu and Kashmir also will have a so-called constitution. That is what Article 370 provided. After that, in 1952, there are multiple deals that is called as a Delhi Agreement, which was signed between the Sheikh Abdullah and also PM Jawaharlal Nehru, which means certain provisions of Article 370 are not extended, which means the central cannot have many powers on the Jammu and Kashmir. So according to this Delhi Agreement, they made a mutual agreement, and also they made so-called Jammu and Kashmir to get more attached towards the India. So after this May 15th, so here May 15th, 1954, there is an article named Article 35A introduced. This is not introduced by the Constitutional Amendment Act or Article 368. This is just introduced as a presidential order and to protect the permanent residents of the Jammu and Kashmir. Those are permanently residing in Jammu and Kashmir, their rights and everything should be protected. That is what provided over there. And next, you need to understand this Article 360 in a much more detailed format. Let me tell you what is this Article 360, what are all the provisions of this Article 360. Everything you will be known to the core. So kindly guys keep following. The PDF will be provided for you, don't miss it. So here Article 20, so here Article 370 is part of Part 21. So here you need to understand Part 21 of the Constitution is provided Article 370. Now you need to understand what is part of this Part 21. So here Part 21 has a multiple articles. First among them is 370. So here the articles of the Part 21 will have temporary features, transitional features, and the special provisions that are provided to the few states. So this is what the provisions will be present in the Part 21. Part of it only here Jammu and Kashmir 370 is present in the Part 21 of your Constitution. Now it's clear. Next point, you need to come over here, Jammu and Kashmir. So here Jammu and Kashmir doesn't apply our Indian Constitution, which means our Indian Constitution will never apply directly on Jammu and Kashmir. only the provisions of Article 1 and Article 370 of Indian Constitution will be applicable for the Jammu and Kashmir. Then how the Jammu and Kashmir is governed? So for the Jammu and Kashmir governance, there is a separate constitution drafted for themselves, which means Jammu and Kashmir has their own constitution. And also here this constitution will restrict Indian parliamentary legislative powers. So here Indian parliament, which has a legislative powers, that won't work on Jammu and Kashmir. So here the legislative powers of Indian parliament is very limited. Why? It is because of the so-called, according to the instrument of accession. You know, I told you instrument of accession, which is signed between the Maharaja Hari Singh and the Mountbatten. So in that it is being clear that central law must consult with the state government, which means central can make any laws, but that is not directly applicable on Jammu and Kashmir. So for the applicability, they need to consult the state government. So state government has a higher authority and higher power over these conditions. And next, so this instrument of accession, if you understand this was signed between the Raja Hari Singh and Mountbatten in 1947, as I had said earlier. And also here parliamentary powers for the Indian government on this so-called Raja Hari Singh or this instrument of accession is provided that Article 370 says that on Jammu Kashmir's defense, external affairs and communication, over them only they will be having the power. Remaining, there is no power. And also here 1954 order, which brought Article 335A, also had extended much more provisions of our Indian parliament toward our Indian constitution towards the Jammu and Kashmir. Now what is the issue here? So you understood the background of Article 370, you understood what is 370, and next you need to know recent time in 2019 government passed a law and eliminated this 370. Now the question arises, can the government do such things? Can government eliminate this Article 370 or government delete this Article 370? If so, they deleted. How could it be possible? What are all the provisions related to it? So here you need to read this. Article 370 clause 3 has a separate provisions. From this they told that it has a permits must be needed. So here president order can permit to delete this Article 370 that is provided in Article 370 clause 3. And next, what is the problem over here? How can it be done? But the issue here is concurrence with the Jammu and Kashmir Constituent Assembly, which means President can delete this Article 370, but how? He only when consult with the Jammu and Kashmir Constituent Assembly, he can delete such provisions. But here comes one more issue. January 26, 1957, what had happened? Here it had happened that Jammu and Kashmir Constitutions Assembly dissolved, which means from now, Jammu and Kashmir Constituent Assembly is not there. It has been dissolved. Oh, sad. That's a sad situation. Now, there are two views come into sense now. So, because there is no Constituent Assembly, so we cannot delete the so-called Article 370. But other view is that, yes, but we can delete in concurrence with the State Assembly. Jammu Kashmir Constituent Assembly is gone, but State Assembly is present. With the help of State Assembly, we can so-called remove Article 370. This is the two views which has been trending in those times. Now here comes the other issue. So here, recent times Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019, Jammu and Kashmir has been divided into two union territories. One is Jammu and Kashmir, which has a legislative assembly, and other is Ladakh, which don't have any legislative assembly. Now this had happened. Now they had taken such issue to the court. What is the issue they had taken to the court? Now the news is it is present in the court. How it is challenged and what are all the provisions that has been challenged? Now the court is studying the possibility of whether unconstitutional or violates the basic structure. So here the court will be hearing such things, which means either our Article 370, which has been removed in Jammu Kashmir provisions recently, either it is unconstitutional or violates the basic structure. Now you will have a doubt. So these two questions which have been asked, how could this be possible? So when we come to the Article 370, which is present in the part of the Constitution. So here, when it is a part of the Constitution, here rises the questions of unconstitutional or not, because they didn't use Article 368 for the deletion of these provisions. And also here, Article 370 is also states federalism. So federalism means a governance at the state level. So here federalism is a basic structure of our constitution. So that only the two provisions are being studied or discussed in the Supreme Court. Now you need to understand the background of the judiciary system which had gone through such situations. Already in 1969 there is a rise of issues in a Sampath Prakash case. In Supreme Court told that Article 370 is not temporary. What does that mean? So Supreme Court or judicial review Article 370 is a permanent thing and you cannot easily delete it. But also again in 2017 there is a issue raised in the Delhi High Court. In that Kumari Vijayalakshmi, who had raised this issue, and she was the Chief Justice of Delhi. So at that moment she cutright rejected the petition of saying that it is a petition of temporary, which means the petition says that Article 370 is temporary and it is a mockery of the constitution. They said it, but this case has been rejected, which means this also shows that judiciary favoring that Article 370 is a permanent thing. But we need to go forward and see in again upcoming days you will get this news. But if you had heard this content in my class, it is fixed that you will know all round data of the content and it will be effective for your learning. So for more updates, stay tuned. This is me, SPR, signing off. If you want the PDF, you can kindly visit our Telegram channel. You can get the PDF.